Hello, everyone, and welcome to Between Two Ferns, an XboxEra Gamescom podcast special. As we're here on the last night of our wonderful trip, thanks to you guys, to talk about everything we've seen that we're allowed to talk about.
Everything we've done.
Yeah, everything we've done.
That we're willing to talk about.
And everyone we've met that loves us and we love them. But before we do any of that, I have to take a moment because for the first time on camera, we have Predrag with us.
Yeah.
The guy that is responsible for basically how freaking awesome everything we do looks.
Yep.
Mad props.
Yeah.
See, if you're wherever you are, a standing ovation, please, for Mr. Predrag.
Hello, everyone.
So he's currently working on the most hilarious thumbnail I think that the XboxEra channel has ever made for this special Between Two Ferns episode. Big thank you to Zach. Is it Galifianakis? Mm-hmm. Yeah, for his lending us his IP. I think we start off with the stuff that everybody wants to know about. Right? Should we start off? Where do you want to start, Jess?
Yeah. Pretty much the journey here was different this time. Last year we all met up outside of Predrag. We all met up in London, hung out for a bit, did some console wars stuff.
We did some
Yeah,
console
we did a
wars stuff.
console wars stream. So there were no streams this time because everyone wanted to always go out and stay out late and pretend that we would do a stream, but we knew we wouldn't in the long run. But we wanted to get a video out like this as soon as we could. Now that we're done, we've seen everything. John's got a couple things with embargoes. I've got one thing with an embargo. So just keep an eye out for even more stuff coming over the next week or two. Like they showed the Outer Worlds 2 off on the stream today.
Yeah, but you can't talk about that.
Cannot give any impressions of that right now.
No.
John saw really cool stuff that has been shown around a bunch, but not the stuff we got to see and play. So keep an eye out for that. But for the things that we saw, I got our unbelievably full calendar up. It started, John, with the Xbox booth, which you got to go to early and barely did anything. And what did you do?
Yeah, so just to give some context for folks at home, last year, Microsoft, I think we're in Hall 8, and they had virtually, like, these things are airport hangar-sized rooms, right? And I think Microsoft had the entire back half of Hall 8, and it was like, you had the massive Doom Guy statue, you had countless, like, little buildings full of different indie pods and things like that. It was super, super impressive. This year, I think it's fair to say that it was a quarter of the size.
And still, they were the biggest one.
Yeah, it was still the biggest.
That's how big they were last year, that they could maybe go down 2/3 in size.
Yeah.
They were a lot denser this year. Last year
big room, yeah.
It was over 50 games. Some of them were just like Marvel Rivals and other stuff with huge stations. But they still had a lot of really good stuff. The very last thing I got to do pretty much was to see there are no ghosts at the Grand.
Yeah, which was at the booth.
Yep, which is at the booth. People are playing it. I got to skip the line and feel like a dick walking in front.
I would have been like,
I was walking all sheepishly. That game has only been being made for 1.5 years by 10 people, all of whom this is, I think, their first game, and
wow,
they randomly threw a pitch at ID at Xbox about it, and that turned into being in the June showcase, getting a Game Pass deal, and getting 2 spots at their booth in Gamescom. And they're hoping to have it out, I think it was late 2026. What I got to play, it's just such a weird mix of House Flipper, Power Wash Simulator, Spray Paint Simulator, shooting game, because some of your stuff just shoots and you attack stuff. Like I was throwing many chairs at weird chair spiders.
As you do.
I was just shooting out, because you've got this weird cannon that we saw in the trailer that can produce furniture. It can just create it out of nothing.
Yeah, it's like a fix-it cannon.
It can move it. It can spray paint the walls. it can vacuum and then spit stuff back out like we saw with the books.
Yeah.
But at one point in a real scary section, I started being chased by chairs that turn into spiders, and I just started lobbing furniture at them and taking them out.
That would be me if that actually happened in real life.
And it's like every part of it felt good. It did have that little bit of aim where it's hard to be super accurate. So like you start moving and it just jumps too quick.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can, but it's early demo just for Gamescom, cut in a very specific way, poking fun at being a demo and breaking the fourth wall, which also happened with something else, which is always fun to see.
Yeah, like
I am extremely hyped for that game.
I can't blame you.
Wanted.
I think it's probably like that is like why video games are great. Like a crazy mishmash of ideas to make something new.
From 10 recent graduates who are just like, we have ideas and we have an art guy and that's why the art's so good. And we have like, it's crazy.
That's why the art's so good. The first day I went there, so typically they give like a 2-hour window for press to go in. I think after being 3 Gamescoms in a row, Gamescom, the organisers are just progressively like, let's make more money. And they are selling tickets earlier, they're letting the public in earlier. And I'm not trying to sound snooty here, but like as press, there is just so much to see. There is not enough time to stand in a queue for 2 hours to try and get hands on.
We can't go to anything on the floor if we don't get an appointment.
Yeah.
And then you're skipping line, you feel like a dick. But they have a business area, which is where we went for most of our stuff.
Yeah.
Halls 2, 3, and 4, you have to have a press pass or the exhibitor pass to get in.
Yeah. And like that first morning, I went in, I looked around, and like the reality is...
you don't like most genres in games.
No, not true. They had a little indie hall section. They had some Indiana Jones stuff, not the DLC, just Indiana Jones there.
Yeah, so the DLC was only for press. I think they're trying to keep spoilers out.
Yeah,
and it's hard. It's a hard game to show off and demo because like you can do this 10-minute puzzle and like because you have to get people through. They can't just keep going.
Yeah. But they had things that we frankly have already covered and played. So they had Grounded 2, they had Ninja Gaiden 4, they had
Metal Gear Solid Delta, but like again the lines are rough and
it was just like, oh, okay. So I popped in, funny enough I bumped into, and if you look at the video, I shared a small clip from that morning on Twitter, just kind of like a quick tour. And the last clip or last frame of that is me bumping into Tom Warren from The Verge. Mm-hmm. So we went and played Invincible Versus, which I will briefly speak about, and he'll come back to in a second, I guess. Tom won on behalf of The Verge, but only just, so that's fine. But that's pretty cool. I'll let Jesse fill in on that in a second. The one I really wanted to talk about that I did play at the booth was Super Meat Boy 3D, which
everyone I heard that played that really liked it.
Yeah, like it takes that repeated joy of messing up and getting that perfect run of Super Meat Boy and translates it incredibly well into 3D. I had a long chat with the developer, how long they've been working on it. Which is, I think, since 2022. From memory, I might be wrong there, so don't quote me on it. It's looking real good, and I loved it. And here's what's funny, right? So I managed to get through. He said like less than 20% of the people here will get through all of these levels. You had like 8 minutes to play, and then you're off, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm playing, and I got to the last level, and I only had 30 seconds left, right? And then Tom Warren was like, all right, show us how quickly this can be done. Holy shit. This developer had been playing this for thousands of hours. Every level was done in like 15 seconds without any depth. So it was just level skip bits that I was like fumbling with. I was just like, oh God, this is going to be a speedrunner's dream. And it does the cool, like all the times you've died, replay. It was just great.
It's funny, a few devs I talked to were like, I'm so fucking sick of playing this game because they play it from when it's really shit, getting a little better. Okay, it's okay. Oh God, something broke. It's back to shit. For years and years.
And they get very frustrated, I'm sure. But yeah, the dev was super cool. He's got my card. We're gonna exchange some deets. We'll try and get them on for an episode of 1v1. We'll definitely be doing a Super Meat Boy 3D preview video with some B-roll for you guys to have a look at as soon as I get the assets to do so and do a write-up. We've got a lot of stuff to write crazily within the next 4 or 5 days.
Anything else at the?
No, primarily everything there was pretty much.
The next thing you saw, which everyone's posted pictures of on social media, was James Bond 007. We'll talk about that later. Next one from me. I went to see. It wasn't to see the game because they just showed me a video, but I saw Halloween from Ilphonic and Gun Games.
Shout out Miles Dompier.
Yeah, Sally was there. I talked with one of the devs. Really cool guy. Just talking about how cool it is to work with John Carpenter, who's been really... We always knew he liked video games from his social media, but he's been getting into it now with his IP, and you did talk to Commander we'll get into later. Sounds really cool. It's the 4v1, or they haven't said exactly how many, but it's the asymmetrical multiplayer where one person is Michael Myers, the rest are characters from the movies. Dr. Loomis was doing a voiceover. Somebody was doing a Donald Pleasance impersonation. And instead of always going against Jason because he is unkillable, you are trying to save as many people. You're trying to save the city he is in.
Yeah.
And you're stopping him, and he's trying to take everyone out before you can do that. You're trying to get people to safety and get the cops there as much as you can. And that's
that's the loop.
Which is I like that loop a lot more than I find you, stab you, kill you over and over again.
Yeah.
Like that is a part of it, but it's not the only part of it. And that one, it hadn't been announced when I got to see it, so I finally get to talk about it now. It looks real neat, and I like Ilphonic and what they do. The next thing after that was, I believe, was it Predrag went to Night Dive?
He did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. First, guys, sorry if I sound weird, but since the Gamescom started, my hearing is completely destroyed.
It's not my fault this time. I've not made you ill. Right? You're already ill.
Yeah. No, yeah. So
all the kissing you two didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. I went to the Night Dive and they presented the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Mm-hmm. I was one of the first people they were showing to, and they were still enthusiastic about the whole thing. So I can imagine now, after a few days, and we experienced already, like when you meet devs after I don't know how many meetings, they are already like completely collapsed. So they were still enthusiastic about the whole thing. So they presented the Mortal Kombat. I'm not the big fighting enthusiast, but what they presented in the Legacy Collection is basically the whole documentary about the series.
Mm-hmm.
How
it's
it
like
started.
20 games, right?
It's 93 to 2002, I think.
Wow.
Like everything that...
They
didn't get into the 3D era, but they even got those awful Shaolin or Mortal Kombat mythologies and Special Forces games.
Good lord.
But their whole thing is they are just so... They tell you the whole story of that franchise, and they're really good about that.
It's very neatly presented. Like you're going through the timeline of the franchise, and they got even to the original developers. They got a lot of the footage, the sketches. So the people who are into the Mortal Kombat, they will enjoy it. So for sure. And for me, like I really like this type of content, like to see how it. It's basically like the no clip kind of documentary, but on another level.
It's
so
interactive.
The presentation.
It's interactive. So
yeah. And from the timeline, if I remember correctly, you can just jump into that game.
Yep.
And play it immediately. So
it's nice.
So it was awesome. And I was the one of the only until that moment who managed to beat not to beat, just to kick Smoke at one point.
Oh, was it Smoke or Reptile?
Reptile. Yeah, the Reptile.
Because Reptile is ridiculous.
Yeah. Maybe there are some other things, but they are under NDA until to some point. So So I'm looking forward for that game. But people who are into the Mortal Kombat, general fighting games, they will find really like treasure.
And I love that they throw in all the versions quite often too, because you get like the Game Gear version. And version. They go ham. John, you then went to the Xbox Business Center and saw Keeper.
I did see Keeper. Got to actually have a lengthy chat with Tim Schafer and some of the other Double Fine folks were there.
Spaff.
Maybe not Spaff. I don't know.
He said he was in the corner.
Oh yeah, he was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said he was in the corner.
Shout out Double Fine. I just want you to know that in the UK, Spaff means something, perhaps a little, you know. It's not a word we would throw around as a nickname for someone. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you guys know. There's a cultural difference between you and I. But Keeper, you guys know me. I love my quirky indies, and the opportunity to see something new from Double Fine is extremely exciting. This is being led by I can't remember his first name right now, but it's one of the developers, surname of Petty. He's been there for a long time, and he was just it's Free Falling. I think it's Tim. I want to say Tim Petty. I might be wrong. I need to check my notes, but nutshell, this is the guy that kind of led the design for things like stacking back in the Xbox 360 arcade days, which is another Double Fine game that I really loved. You play as a lighthouse with a bird called Twig, who lands on you one day. He's separated from his flock, and the lighthouse kind of wakes up, sprouts some root-like legs, and goes tumbling around. And you and Twig are trying to get to the top of this mountain through some of the most gorgeous, surreal, bright, vibrant, Double Fine ass art that I have seen to date. They've really upped their game again visually. Some of the visual effects. I do believe this is Unreal Engine 5 again at work.
As we talked about with someone at Xbox, like they have started working together. Like it's not all the exact same pipeline, but they are the best Unreal developer.
Yeah,
by far.
Yeah, the coalition is kind of like the ringleader, I think, in this regard.
They're the tech experts that people can go to when they need to, but like everyone can pretty easily talk to each other now within Xbox.
Yeah. I want to get. I don't want to say too much because I want to kind of put something together for you guys that's going to be
and this has
worthwhile.
To be broad overviews, or else it's going to be 3 hours.
Absolutely, but I can't wait to play it. I think it's going to be a unique experience with some incredible atmosphere, some incredible vibes. The whole story is told wordlessly, through animation, through music, through sound, through all of that fun interactive stuff that the best video games can do. And just as a heads up, this wasn't a hands-on. This was a walkthrough and through different sections to show off some gameplay elements. There's some time manipulation in there as well, which was an interesting mechanic. I can't wait to see more. It's coming out in October. We'll obviously bring you the XboxEra review as and when we can. And if there is a hands-on preview, well, I'll bring you that too. But yeah, Keeper looked very cool. Also, Tim Schafer, very funny. One of the best things he said during that interview, I was like, hey, so, Tim Petty, I apologies if I've got his name wrong, but Petty's working on this. Great. And I just looked at him and what you up to? And he was like, Double Fine are working on several new things. There you go. That's scoop. It's not really a scoop. I'm sure someone's already published this interview. It's been out there, yeah. Yeah, super cool. I'm curious. I feel like this team's about to kind of come to life. Is Double Fine going to be 3 games in 1 year? At some point, especially if they're these unique, smaller experiences. I'm all in. So yeah, super cool. You got to see something that we've kind of already previewed.
Yeah, so I figured we'd go quickly over it. The next 2 things I did were Chronos, the new Dawn, and The Blood of Dawnwalker. Chronos, go read and watch Fairy's very good preview of it. It's a survival horror, limited resource, really scary, moody, cool-ass game. Which is coming out in a week and a half.
I think I saw Jez say that he was his favourite game of the show. He said, don't sleep on it.
Jez loves Misery.
Yeah.
And The Blood of Dawnwalker is Vampire Witcher 3. It's a lot of ex-CDPR devs. It looked like Witcher. It moved like Witcher. It looked like it played kind of like The Witcher, but a little tighter. So yeah, that one was neat. That one I didn't get to play. I just watched. But then Predrag went to Diamond Blades, Daimon.
Yeah. They announced that game that day, like I think 8 p.m.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yes,
same
yes,
it was the same with me with Halloween. It hadn't been announced yet.
It's so cool. I love working in this job.
Yeah, but forgot to ask them, is this like the Europe time or it was like the... But okay, well, yeah, next day for sure it was already out. Yeah, they told me they already made this game, Divine Cybermancy?
Yeah.
Oh, Cybermancy.
Cybermancy.
Yeah.
They said it was like the viral hit, but I was honest, I didn't heard about the game. But what they showed me about the Diamond Blades, it really like I don't know, sparked some interest about it. So yeah, it's like previous title they already made, but like this is like more into the Doom kind of territory.
So we're
like
talking
you can feel
FPS?
the vibe from it, but also a bit faster, and the co-op version of it. You can play it solo offline, but you can play it also with the friends, which is like I presume it's how it should be played.
Yeah, there's a lot of co-op slant of a lot of games.
Yeah.
Like,
When people want to push streamers, especially
yeah.
streamers like co-op, and then
Yeah, just to say, for sure you need to check this game, and I asked, for now it's the Steam only, and I asked them about the console version, and they're planning to, at some point, to make, so I'm really curious how it will pan out, but like, what I played looks amazing, so it's Unreal Engine 5 game, it's the team that before it was with Focus Entertainment, but now they went indie, it's like, I think 7 guys, and like, I wish them the best. Like they were amazing. So
Nice.
you had
Go on.
you had Focus.
Yeah, like this was actually a chunky one. I got to sit down, and it's. I have to be careful. Actually, I have to be careful. I played some stuff from Focus, but now that my brain has kicked in, I played Mio, Memories in Orbit, or of Orbit, which is a Metroidvania with an incredibly awesome art style that looks like someone's painting as you're moving. So, like as the character moves, they've almost got like what they call it, hero lighting.
Yeah.
But it almost causes like brush strokes in the environment around it. And it was fun because I've already played the Steam demo, so I was like, "Cool, I know this game." And the dev was like, "Yeah, okay, you already tried it. Well, we've got 2 options. You can, start early, or do you want to just jump into the hard bit?" I was like, "Let's jump into the hard bit." That game kicked my ass. Like, holy crap! It was hard. I think this is a Metroidvania that a lot of like people that like things like Hollow Knight, that really enjoy like challenging boss battles with some really cool mechanics, are going to very much enjoy. I thought it was very, very cool, and yeah, I would absolutely recommend checking that out. I think it is later on this year. Don't quote me on that, but it's looking good. The other thing that I played, I really want to talk about, but I can't. But I can tell you that I will have a really cool, in-depth video and stuff on this particular thing that I can't talk about. And I'm so glad I remembered, because I would have definitely broken an embargo if that hadn't triggered in my brain. So you can look forward to that at some point soon.
You can't even say you played it?
I don't know. I don't want to take the risk. I mean, Focus...
3 days ago, a gameplay trailer was released for John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. All right, so the last thing I saw was The Outer Worlds 2, which had got shown off at the Xbox show. God, it might have been, I think it was yesterday on their live stream. They showed it off a bit. Keep an eye out on the website for my thoughts on that. Then, at the end of day 1, we went out and we drank a lot and we ate some really good food.
Yeah.
With some really good people.
Yeah. We recognise that like the reality is you finish Gamescom, and most of the time you're finishing at 6 p.m. of a day. You haven't eaten in 6 hours. Your feet are tired, and you probably can't get an Uber from wherever you are because there's 300,000 people around. So you walk the 30 minutes across the river to get to like effectively the social sector of the city, which is where all the nice cafes and restaurants are. And by the time you've sat down and beers have been brought out, with the first night we had dinner with the Insider Gaming crew, so Tom Henderson and his team. I'm not going to say that because Tom Henderson is a very generous man. But yeah,
but it was also more than just. It was
we joined by Jez,
Tom Warren.
Yeah,
we hung out with a bit. Jez Corden was at the dinner.
Tom Warren wasn't until the next day.
Oh, that was the next day for Tom. Yeah. We had Jez and his lovely cousin show up and hang out. We had Gamescom Tony.
Always Gamescom Tony. If you don't know who that is, you haven't lived. We had Paris Lily. Mm-hmm. We had the lovely Kay Asante, the giant that is Aaron. I'm trying to make sure we haven't forgotten anybody.
Well, because we had dinner with the same people multiple times, so
it's kind of blurred.
Yeah.
But suffice to say, we had some really nice steaks and stuff like that. It was cool, but by the time we got back, it was 11 p.m. and it was like, we have to be up again and back at the Con Mesa. Like, we have to leave here at 8. So, like, we can't really do a stream. So, like, okay, let's not do that. And then we hit day 2, which is the Thursday. Where do we start?
Predrag went to see something I don't think he's allowed to talk about.
No, not yet.
No talking.
Sorry.
But during Gamescom itself, there was Bandai Namco showed off some My Hero Academia, All's Justice, or whatever the hell this one's called. John did not go to see Little Nightmares 3 because he'd already played it, right?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go and play Little Nightmares 3, but one, they wanted me to go
through. It was in the public area.
It was in the public area, and look, I've already written a preview on it, and I've played it twice. I wouldn't produce anything, and I would simply say, it's Little Nightmares 3. I will review it when the game comes out. I want to be surprised, and I've kind of played enough. Like, let me just experience it when it comes.
Yeah. And then the next thing you saw, you also can't talk about.
There's an embargo for this one. I can say, because it has been announced, I got a really good look at The Expanse Osiris Reborn, which is that's all I'm going to say. Outside
Keep
of
an eye out on the site.
It's not based on like that other Expanse. It's based on the sci-fi TV show, but the books. So just as a heads up. So
I went to see and I talked about it. I put up a I went to see this game. Got all the footage from it, stole Xbox's really fast internet at their business center, uploaded that footage, he made an amazing thumbnail, and then I wrote up a preview while sitting outside of the Xbox booth. I played Borderlands 4, so we had a theater presentation going through it. Imagine this, it plays a lot more like a very smooth Doom Eternal. You've got a double jump, you've got an air dash, you climb. It also has a Destiny-like map. Like if Destiny was one big open world, it's got dynamic events. It has world bosses, but it's not online unless you're playing co-op. Like it's still an offline video game, just with all the cool shit MMOs have that really pull people in. The UI is actually functional and easy to navigate, which is not normal for Borderlands.
Yep.
It is also, and they only mentioned going for the vibes of Borderlands 1 with a little bit of the humor of 2.
Which is exactly what I wanted to hear.
They said nothing about 3, not a word.
What 3?
But like, I was super, super impressed with what I got to play. Really enjoyed it. There's a full preview of it, and my gameplay video is completely unedited, so I die a lot. I died 3 times.
It's like half an hour?
No, it's 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
Half an hour,
The next thing on the list.
That's 45 minutes.
That's the 45 minutes. High on Life 2 at the Xbox booth. No embargo on that one. If you enjoyed High on Life and want to see them even better, that would be High on Life 2. They've added in a skateboard for movement. So you are just at any point, your sprint, you just pull the skateboard out and it's there.
Nice.
And you realize quickly the environment is just full of rails for you to go along and things to jump off of with it, and it's great. The Justin Roiland gun died in the true ending of the first game, So he's not around anymore.
Conveniently, it's did they kill him on purpose? Like I don't know.
But yeah, no, it was really good. Again, there's a big long preview up on that one for the gameplay and everything. So feel free to check it out. I don't think I wrote about it yet. I will eventually write about it, maybe.
You should.
But the next one was one that surprised this man, Pizza Bandit. Yeah,
Pizza Bandit is like really, it's like the one whole area is just for the indies and the self-publishing studios and stuff like that. So there's so many surprises that you can just see wandering around. And one of those actually got invite for this, but nevertheless I would probably go there just by the name of the game. So Pizza Bandit is something like a Gears of War Horde mode, fully co-op 4 players, where in between the waves you are doing Overcooked. So you need to set up your restaurant.
Yeah, it's really weird.
You need to gather the ingredients, cook what is on the menu, and depending on the team or the level where you are fighting, this recipe is depending on that level. So it's like the steakhouse, or it's like the pizza place, or it's the sushi. So you need to gather all those ingredients, fight the waves of enemies, and also there is friendly fire, so you can't shoot your teammates. I mean, you can, but that's like then you can destroy the whole thing, and the mission will fail. And of course, at the end, when you gather all the ingredients, you make the menu, and you're successful. You need to run to the point where they are coming to pick you up. So it's really, really interesting. It looks good. It's very, very nice performance. It's Steam only for now, and they're planning to do the PS5 version next, and then we will see for the rest.
PS5. All right, that's cool. Now, I want to make sure that I've got this right, because I think that the next thing that was seen was actually Planet of Lana 2.
Yeah, I don't think it went to Sword Sage.
So here's a fun thing. I'm going to press the buttons on this while we're doing the show, but by the time you guys watch this, my Planet of Lana 2 hands-on preview will be live, so I can talk quite openly about this.
You double play.
Yeah, so this is a cool story, and I think it speaks to why we love to do what we do a little bit, and why we feel so privileged to be in the position that you guys that watch and listen and support us on Patreon. If that's not you and you're listening and watching right now, consider it, because I feel like we're a pretty good team and we could try and bring you guys some cool stuff. Head to patreon.com/XboxEra. But nutshell, Microsoft and the Xbox team were technically doing all of the Planet of Lana 2 previews. So weirdly, Thunderful, the publishers of Planet of Lana 2 and Planet of Lana, reached out to us and said, hey, we'd like you to come and see Planet of Lana 2, which obviously we said, yeah, of course, yeah, I'm there. And then when we told Microsoft that we already had it booked, we were like, "Oh no, you should come to ours. Like we're doing that. You can just cancel that." So we were like, "Okay." So we did. We cancelled the Thunderful one because okay, we'll go see it at the Microsoft booth. But then I got a phone call, like, "Where are you?" You know, it was meant to be at like 11 a.m. that day. Are you coming? I was like, I'm doing something else right now, but I can come at midday. And so I did. And the reason they called us in the first place was that Klaas, one of the developers who was on the XboxEra podcast,
the most watched episode ever on YouTube.
True story. He wanted to see me and like be like, "Look, dude, I made the second game." So I opened the door and he was like, "Dude," you know, we embraced and I got to spend a very, very cool entire hour chatting about Planet of Lana 2, their hopes for the game, what's involved. And everything else, and nutshell, Planet of Lana is great, but the story doesn't end there, because Microsoft and I still had an appointment to play Planet of Lana 2, so not only did I get to play it, Klaas told me to go in and not tell his colleague that I had already played the demo, and his colleague was like, well, how are you doing this so fast? Because I knew all of the solutions to everything. But I also had a really good chat with them, and instead they let me play the entirety of that demo on the Xbox ROG Ally, which
they weren't supposed to.
Well, yeah, it was on a very early unit, and yeah, we'll get into that when we talk about the ROG Ally. But I played a lot of Planet Lana 2, about 2 hours. The full hands-on preview is live now. There's a ton of new gameplay footage. There wasn't enough for the whole video, so I repeat some clips. Please forgive me, but if you're excited for Wishfully's new adventure with Lana and Mui, go check it out. I know I am definitely looking forward to it. It's coming at some point in 2026.
You should push that preview live.
I'm going to do that right now while you're talking about the next thing.
I got to see Routine.
This is on, Thursday evening.
Oh, yeah, no, we should talk about the evening instead.
We should talk about the evening because Thursday evening was a really great evening, right?
Yeah.
We went out for dinner again with some other folks. Who did we go out for dinner with, Jesse?
I don't remember.
No?
Oh, well, we were at the bar. I don't always know the Corkonian. Everyone talks about
the Corkonian, the Cork.
Yeah. So we were at the Cork. We got a couple tables. One old Tom Warren showed up and hung out as we got to meet him last year as well. And Tom is a wonderful chap, surprisingly tall. God, so many people ended up showing up there.
Do you know what we've done in our brains?
What?
We've given Tuesday night's dinner with Tom and everybody in Paris to Wednesday. Wednesday's night's dinner was with Tom Warren and co.
That's what I'm saying.
And we've given it to Thursday because we've just walked through Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Which is, we were like a day out.
Because I forgot, Tuesday we didn't go to Gamescom. We hung out, we got here, we traveled here, we jet lagged here.
Yeah.
And then we went out to dinner with the Insider Gaming guys and all that. Then Wednesday was with Tom Warren, hanging out. Some developers and other friends and stuff showed up, and we had the greatest
Turkish kebab.
doner kebab. Holy crap!
Yeah, it was amazing.
A place called Doner Kebab.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says on the tin. From a UK perspective, if you've ever had a kebab, don't ever again go to Germany and have them ruined for you forever.
Yep.
But yeah, it was really good. But yeah, Thursday night's dinner, which was last night,
Which was the amazing.
which was a great time.
Yeah.
We
We started at the Cork.
Yeah.
But we only had one table, and we knew we had a lot of people showing up, including the amazing Nicole and Jason Ronald from the Xbox hardware team, who are just unbelievably cool and chill and nice.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like, Predrag, you were in your graphic design job. John was in his salesman job. I was in IT. I was. None of us were anything video game related.
Nope.
At all. And here we are, really pushing this 3 years at the most, but like 4-ish years later of trying, and just getting the respect of people in the industry who have actually been doing it for decades at like the top level is so weird. It's so weird when you have an opinion and someone you know knows the answer just goes, "Yep."
Yeah.
Validation.
Yeah. It feels good.
And that's where Paris was with us, and
Yes.
Dante was there again. Aaron.
Yeah, it was just a cool
The whole
night.
Insider Gaming guys showed up, and then the Xbox people couldn't. They had
Tom Henderson, shit.
and of course, your amazing partner, Kat,
Yeah.
is there every time.
Yeah.
She's sleeping.
She is sleeping. She is plumb tuckered out.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's been awesome.
Yeah, that was getting to hang out for hours with them.
Just chat. Just chat.
Kay and at one point Superman came up. Like, I think Jason asked, "Had you seen Superman?" or Paris asked him, and then Kay and Paris just arguing for an hour back and forth about James Gunn, and then the DCU, and then the MCU, and everyone just laughing. Like, it was one of those nights you won't forget.
Yeah, it was. I think for me, sitting around and just like, there's so much passion in this industry, and there's so much love for video games, and to be able to just sit with your peers, colleagues, friends from all over the world, and you've come together and you're experiencing new things, new experiences, new adventures with familiar characters or brand new IPs, or whatever the case may be, And like, I think if anything, we can say like that conversation was just full of like, God, video games are so freaking awesome, and like what the future's going to be like, and how much more optimized and smart development's going to be, and how they're thinking about that. Like as an industry, I'm not talking specifically Microsoft here.
Because that is the reality, is everyone has the same problems.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo upped prices and know they have a bigger hardcore. Sony is slowly moving partially in ways to what Microsoft is doing, but you know, they have their own setup in other ways. But pretty much every developer is just like, yeah, we need to be as many places as we can once it makes sense. And for some, they can hit every platform at once. For others, they can't. But in the long run, I think pretty much everyone agrees you need to be where people are going to be. You can't force them to come to you the same way anymore.
Yeah, it was just a great night. I think we all came away just like, that was cool. And that again was why you didn't get a stream. We were out until midnight effectively, socialising and shooting the shit, as they say. But that takes us rather handily into Friday, which was...
we forgot the Batman? We played the Batman... Lego Batman?
Oh, yeah, well, that was Friday morning, yeah. You can talk about Lego Batman and what you thought.
Well, I liked it. I hated the controller, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to sound shitty because we're an Xbox channel, but
Boo.
I have really big hands, and Sony has never made a controller that works well for me. My hand cramps terribly, but we got to go and see Lego Batman, Tale of the Dark Knight, or whatever the heck it is.
Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Yeah, which is a new Batman Arkham game. Like, it just is set up and played.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's
exactly like the Batman Arkham
Yeah, I loved
games.
everything about it. The graphics, the combat,
And for being that
driving.
early, it looked and ran really well.
Yeah, it looks amazing. But like, I never played a lot with the PlayStation controller. And Xbox controller for me is the strong preference. Like, personal strong preference. I will never leave that platform just for the controller.
Yeah.
Like this, for me, that's the thing. Like, I know it, like there's the muscle memory. And when I started playing with the PS5 controller, it was like...
I can't do it. Like,
I was fighting it, like, okay, what's going on here?
I've done several demos this week where I've had to use the PS5 pad. And like, I'll be honest, like, because of Sony's push back into PC, it's fair enough. It's a good controller, right? I'm not knocking people that like it. But on a personal level, after 20 plus years of just using various evolutions of the Xbox pad, when I see an X on the screen, my brain is just like, and then I'm fucking, what am I pressing? Circle? I don't know, like whatever button, that square, I think. I don't know.
It's a cross. Sacred symbol, but I think you don't use mouse and keyboard, and I jump between mouse and keyboard and controller a lot, so when I see it, like, it hits me, and so I'm okay with the buttons. I've never liked the triggers and the way they feel. I don't like the handles.
Oh, this is a whole new topic.
This was about Lego Batman.
It just felt like those 10 minutes like felt like it's an amazing game. I would definitely play it. Can't wait for it.
On your
just
Xbox.
with a proper controller. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. I maybe I should just pick a PS5 up again and get used to the controller. I don't know, like just for these scenarios.
Also because I thought like it would be useful for us, me and you, to have them mainly to cover Xbox ports to PlayStation.
Yeah.
We are an Xbox channel. I should get a Switch 2 when they start putting Switch 2 games out. I should have a PlayStation when they put, I like having everything anyways, so it's a great excuse.
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, we saw, and I'll be honest, when we first saw Lego Batman, I can't remember where my bat ears have gone. I did have some.
You threw them.
I threw them. Look, they were giving away big Lego boxes in these really fancy Lego tote bags, and I saw it. I was like, we've got to go back there tomorrow morning, lads, to get some fucking free Legos.
He's still bitter.
And that's all we got. We got the nice bag and just some stupid ears. Screw you, Warner Brothers.
You got a Batman minifigure with a Batarang.
Yeah, that wasn't. These were big boxes. It was probably the Batmobile or some cool shit.
I highly doubt it. Those are like $120.
Whatever.
Only I get something that expensive. But yeah, the first thing I got to see is a game I think is coming to Game Pass. I think it's, at the very least, it's Play Anywhere. I got to play Routine, which is a horror game with light puzzle and extremely light, like combat. You've got this cosmonaut assistant. It's called a cat, but it's essentially this big ass, like huge, bulky, manual looking 60s tool because you are on the moon, and all the robots that help you out have gone bad.
The swines.
Yeah, and so you're going around using your tool, like you gotta degauss it when you get into areas with weird magnetism so you can see the screen correctly. I got to play it for about half an hour or so. It was atmospheric, the story was interesting, and it was very manual, whereas like there wasn't a UI, everything was in the world somehow. So like certain rooms are where you can go to see what your current quest is and do like all the normal UI stuff you would think. It's tied to this computer screen in here, and if you're entering a code, you look at each button and then you press it. Like it was really neat. I don't know if that one has a date or anything. It went radio silent for a long time.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to get to see. It was very pretty. For most of these demos, you're pretty much always on a PC. Funnily enough, a lot of the smaller ones are on a laptop with a 4090 in them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked great, felt good. I was on mouse and keyboard. You never know how it's going to be on a controller until you get to try it that way. But I didn't want to because I'm very accurate with the mouse.
Fair. The next thing I think we saw, and I think you got to see a bit of it as well because you and Kat came with me.
But just a bit of it. We went for coffee.
Yeah. You brought me a much needed coffee.
It was a very pretty bit, I bet.
Yes.
It looks amazing. It looks really like.
It is an entirely hand drawn from the backdrops to every character animation. Goodbye, Sweet Carol, which I can only describe as if Beauty and the Beast took a seriously dark turn, or if Disney was. Well, okay, Disney was kind of evil. Okay, evil Disney. That is what we're going for here without the songs. You play as this young girl. It's narrated almost emulating that intro to the OG Beauty and the Beast, talking the story about the prince who wouldn't let the old lady in. That kind of voice, right? And you're playing as a young girl who is being chased by this evil guy in a hat, it was a fascinating experience. Like, I think it's still a little bit early, so the game's not coming out next week or anything, but what I did play, I want to play more of. It had a very horror slant, which is unusual for me, but it's also a side-scrolling puzzle platformer with these kind of horror elements. And I guess that does work for me because I like Little Nightmares and things like that so much. So definitely looking forward to seeing more of this one. But if you haven't seen it yet, definitely an interesting game. I'm quite curious on. It's coming out on everything, so worth checking out when it does. We mentioned this one earlier, but you played a lot more than me. Mm-hmm. Invincible Versus.
Yeah, so I played a lot. A lot of it was walking through the various systems. I do know the devs at Skybound. They've got some of the ex-Killer Instinct guys, and they brought that game up a few times while we were talking. It is a very approachably deep game. Like, it is super deep once you get all the way down, but as you're going down, it's nice and comforting because they give you auto combos, they give you auto specials, like just keep hitting X and you'll do a combo. Hold the direction and press A and you'll do the moves. Or if you want, you can have the quarter circles and all that. They're working on putting that in. So it's based on the Invincible comic and cartoon series. It's super gory. If you take someone's health bar down with a big move, their head and their arms and their legs are just gone. And Omni-Man is not overpowered, despite him obviously being that in the show. It's very good looking. Again, they were playing it on a freaking laptop, and it was like just gorgeous to look at. It's really everything I like in fighting games, where it isn't too much, but there's still enough there to just feel like after a few matches, I was almost keeping up with this guy who's been working on it for years. I knew if he wanted to, he could wipe the floor with me. But a few times he went, oh, and when I surprised him with like a counter, it's more in that Marvel vs. Capcom vein with the more Killer Instinct-y style combo system, without being the insane over the top fighting and countering, because there are counters, but like when you're being hit with something on a cooldown, you can press Y and B to call in one of your tag mates if they're still alive, and they will be the counter more than it being, I know that you're doing a up high attack and I block that every time. Like, it's not as deep on the memorization, but it still has something there to keep it going.
And like, look, I'm not a fighting game guy, so it doesn't really matter what I think, but I will say that it is one of the most visually gorgeous and authentic to the show and comics game that I've seen in a long while. Like, phenomenally good looking, I thought. So, yeah. It's good stuff, Invincible Versus.
Predrag, did you have I can't remember if there was any embargo on Scott Pilgrim.
No.
I figured not.
Just to not mention some things.
Ooh,
but
things?
generally, the game.
Yeah,
I can talk about
like,
the game.
This build has this bug. Don't bring it up, please.
No, those things. Like the more like content-related stuff, which is interesting for people who are into the Scott Pilgrim. But yeah, it's like it's an amazing game. So it's like the four players couch co-op, side-scrolling.
I'm gonna go get you a drink. I'm gonna go get you a drink. You stay there and get your little glass of water.
Okay. So yeah, for couch co-op sofa, couch co-op sofa.
You're on a sofa.
Yeah, that thing.
4-player couch co-op.
Yeah, and it looks amazing and sounds amazing, and there's 4 of us played. And for this type of games, at least for me, you need some time to get into it, to distinguish which who plays who, like what are the powers, what are the moves, the combos, and here basically after 3-4 minutes you get everything.
Nice.
So it's easy to understand what are you doing, and they're doing some stuff that are like a bit different for this type of games, so which will like please the crowd who like something like this. And so I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs for the people who are into the Scott Pilgrim, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Like first time in the I can't remember when was the last time when I was into something like this, but today
it hooks you.
Yeah.
Always a good feeling. It's nice sparkling water.
Oh.
By the way, if you ever visit Germany, sparkling water is the default. So if you're going to be like Ted Lasso, don't have any expensive equipment in front of you. I got to check out Davy X Jones, which is an upcoming game, first-person shooter. I am under embargo on this one, so I won't talk about it. But yeah, that's pretty much. I got to play that.
Keep an eye out on the website.
Yeah, pretty much. I've got so much writing to do. It is actually scary.
But then I went to see one you saw last year.
Yes.
When it was in rough shape.
It wasn't in
the
as good shape.
It wasn't bad, but it was a little chunky.
It was a little chunky, yeah.
But I got to go and see a newer build and playthrough of Replaced, the long-awaited game from, I think it's roughly 20 people right now, but it's been up to 25 people working on it for 7 years in some fashion.
Wow.
The first handful of years, it was a side project and just a little thing, and then a few years ago they decided let's do it. And man, that game is really pretty.
I'm so hyped for it.
Yeah,
I can't.
It is a completely 2D, except for when it's not.
Yeah.
Side scroller. Every once in a while, you can just like go up and walk upstairs or something like that. Other than that, it's always a 2D plane. They're going for a Batman style on the combat, where it's if you see red, you got to dodge with B. If you see white, press Y, and you're going to do a cool ass counter. At the point of the game I was playing, I already had the gun, just for the demo purposes, because they really wanted to show off the insane assassination animations. Nice. So it did trivialize some things, so I didn't try to use it that much. But yeah, it's like methodical. It's a deliberate feeling game. But the moment you get the pace of your movement and your jump, because the jump has...
It's got an inertia to it.
Mm-hmm. And it's contextual on when you crouch and when you run. So like if in the chase sequence I was crouching behind cover, because if they saw me, they sniped me in the head with this giant bolt launcher. And then when they finally did see me, there was nothing I could do. I just started hoofing it. And there's lots of find this place in the environment, go climb up. There's very light RPG upgrade elements. There are very light dialogue options where it's mostly just get some lore and flavor text or use B and the conversation type stuff. But I can't say enough about how good looking it is.
Yeah, and it's getting an IGN.
I don't know.
Something.
He said they're going to be on the IGN coverage at some point.
Okay.
So we'll see what that means.
Or hopefully no one noticed it, as I shouldn't have said that. Let's move on. What did we play? Oh, yeah, okay. I think actually you're the next one, if you want. I could do one, and you could do one.
Did I talk about it?
You did already talk about the Arno Goes to the Ground. You talked about it, even though you played it then. You talked about it on Monday. Never mind.
I don't remember if I actually talked about it.
You did.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So you went and saw. Is this one embargoed?
Yeah. Well, I thought about it as embargoed. I don't even know if it's been revealed. Revealed? Yes, it's definitely been revealed. Okay. Yeah. I went and played The Last Caretaker, which is a new game from one of the original creators of Trials, which back in the 360 days, Trials. Yeah. Now you might think, oh, is it going to be like another cool balanced bike puzzler?
That's what you thought when I told
That
you.
is absolutely what I thought.
I was like, no, it's not that at all, man.
Yeah, it's not that at all. I'll talk more about that when the embargo breaks, with a cool video preview with lots of footage.
Yeah, there's been stuff out there, like it's you're a robot in a weird world.
I think there's a trailer out.
Oh, there has been. Yeah, they showed it off a while ago.
Yeah, so...
But the very last thing is you again.
Yeah, well, I had a quick go on Sonic Racing Crossworlds.
Yeah, but you really didn't. You turned off the assists you shouldn't have, because that game is way harder without them.
Yeah, because I turned off the assists in Mario Kart. But yeah, it is way harder without the assists.
Well, because you can actually spin out when trying to do stuff in that.
And also it was on a PS5 pad. Look, I'm sorry, it's just not my jam. But the game itself looks and plays superbly, and I'm really looking forward to actually, getting a copy and having some races with friends. I then got to see, and I can talk about this freely because it was on the show floor. Not the very last thing, because we've skipped the big one that we did on Friday morning at last notice.
Very last game. I was saying very last game. But the big thing...
We'll get to. So, yeah, I got to try out Lego Voyagers, which is the kind of like... It's a semi-sequel. It's not a sequel directly, but it's from the same team that brought you Lego Builder's Journey, which is the more diorama, ultra hyper-realistic Lego puzzler that I reviewed, I think, back in 2022, maybe 3?
Yeah, everything.
2021? I don't know. It's all a blur.
Blended together, I have no idea.
Yeah, but in a nutshell, it is lovely. If you like those sorts of games, if you really enjoyed playing through Builder's Journey, this is one that you'll be able to do with a friend. I would say it's even more playful because you are just bopping around as these two little red and blue blocks, but you can connect to stuff really simply, like boop, and you'll just connect to it. But then the physics of how you interact suddenly change because you've got a weight attached to you. And they introduce puzzles in that way. Like we had this long row of blocks with a big circle in the middle. And Kat was at one end and I was at the other. But then we were both having to control. But because of that, we could flip and then we could make over gaps even better. It looked incredible, like graphically. It's just utterly jaw-droppingly gorgeous because it's just got all of the ray tracing type lighting and hyper-realistic Lego bricks. And it's out in 3 weeks. So you can look forward to my full review closer to launch. It was a 15-minute demo, if that, but I can't wait to play the full thing.
The floor demos are short.
Yeah, they're short on purpose. I was like, they did mention, we did some digital stuff for folks at home, and I was like, where was my invite? But hey, I'm here, it's fine. It's all good. So yeah, that was pretty much all the games we saw at Gamescom, and that's the end of the show. No, it's not really, because obviously there's the big thing that everybody has been talking about this week, which is the ROG Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X. Now, Microsoft were super awesome, and they came through and they said, hey, would you like to go hands-on? And they didn't just let one of us in, they let all of us in. All 4 of us to go hands-on with both the Ally and the Ally X. Where to start? I mean, Predrag actually.
Yeah.
You predominantly played, I think, on the Ally, which is the cheaper version of these handheld
white
Xboxes, the white one.
Yeah.
I think your thoughts kind of echoed everybody else's. Like, what did you think of playing on this?
I think it's amazing piece of hardware. It's like very nicely lays in your hands. Like it didn't felt hot after like. Okay, we didn't play for a long time, but I was playing.
Half hour, wasn't it? So
yeah, but still, I have the ROG, the first generation one, which after like 10-15 minutes, depending on
it's pumping out.
You can hear the fans, and you can feel the hotness coming. But with this one, it was fine, and I was playing Forza Horizon 5, so all the time, and which I couldn't run properly on my Ally.
Yeah.
And because it was crashing all the time, updating drivers, it was overheating. I don't know. It wasn't pleasant experience on that one. And here it was just blazing fast, looking good, feeling amazing. On the big one, I tried Doom, the Dark Ages, for like a minute or two, but like the rest of the session, I was just playing the smaller one, and felt really good. Like.
I have to admit, like seeing Forza Horizon 5, similar to you, like I can get it running on the existing Ally X, not the Xbox Ally X, and it runs, but it's not a super smooth experience. And this is where we're super surprised, right? Because the Xbox Ally X, super powerful impulse triggers, a Thunderbolt port, and a 3.2. So you can connect an external GPU and display, all of that stuff. Like you can dock this thing. It is going to be more expensive. It is the more powerful device. But the Ally, the Xbox Ally, the white one, is the more interesting one because it's probably obviously going to be cheaper. And yet here it is being extremely performant with some very demanding games. And that surprised the heck out of me. Like they've definitely done some serious optimization work under the hood, and that.
And this is how it should work. This is what expectations are for the handheld gaming. Like I just want console experience in my hands, like without doing extra work, whatever. Just want to
be able to play,
press and play. So that's and I was super surprised like how this runs, how it looks. So
it was good. It's like holding a heavy elite. Jesse, what did you think? Because you spent time on both. It was your first time playing it as well.
Yeah. Well, I've used pretty much all the major handhelds. I've had a Steam Deck. I've held the Switch 2, the Switch 1. Switch 2 and Switch 1 always feel like shit, and everyone knows that. The Steam Deck feels pretty good. The Legion Go feels okay, but chunky. This one is just so well balanced.
Yeah.
Like, you are holding an Xbox controller split in half. It doesn't look as goofy as the Portal, though I'm sure the Portal's fine if you're into the DualSense. I like the look just feels a little nicer than any of them that I've seen before outside of the Steam Deck OLED. If they're able to nail the price on the white one and keep it, if that $550 ends up being correct, or John wants less, but it won't be. If that $550 ends up being correct, like that is $100 less than the Steam Deck OLED. From what I could tell of how it's running Forza Horizon 5, it seemed more performant, even though it's the same chip, newly optimized. But I think better most other stuff outside of obviously LCD screen versus OLED screen. 120 hertz refresh rate with VRR, which is super important for handheld gaming because generally you're not getting locked anything. You're on a battery. You want to keep the wattage down, like the TDP around 17 watts, and then you might even just aim at like half your refresh rate or a 40 or something like that. And that type of handheld, you should get really good battery life compared to what they've had in the past on the Ally. The Ally X battery is in the Xbox Ally X variant.
80.
Yeah, it's like 82 or 83.
80 on the nose.
Yeah, it's freaking huge. And that thing feels it really does feel like the S and the X, like the series.
It is something I think I could say this. I spoke to a Microsoft staff member, and I was just like, is there, was anyone having a conversation about calling it the Xbox Ally S and the Xbox Ally X? And I think the general feeling was that as much as this, from Microsoft's point of view, is their Xbox, it's also ASUS's product. And ASUS already had existing branding, right? They had the ASUS ROG Ally and the ASUS ROG Ally X.
So you don't call it the ROG or the ROG.
I have been saying ROG all week, so I'm working very hard on fixing that. Republic of Gamers.
ROG, it's a Republic of Gamers.
We spent about half an hour playing on these devices and really poring over them.
I wasn't allowed to change the settings, or else it would have immediately turned off frame generation in Doom.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah, I know. Like it, but regardless, we played Doom: The Dark Ages, Forza Horizon 5, Expedition 33, which is a pretty demanding game, even on modern powerful systems, and it was running well.
Expedition 33 was like medium and high, which I was not expecting on the settings.
And I think that the beauty of having that small screen, and this is where handhelds are great, is it looks sharp even if it's running medium or low. Sometimes. So
only the regular Ally is only pushing 720.
Yeah,
like that's what it's going for. You don't need crazy high fidelity because it's not a crazy high fidelity little screen.
Yeah. And I just want to mention for folks, if you're curious about the both of these devices, like in terms of their differences. The standard Xbox Ally has 512 gig of storage. The Xbox Ally X has 1 terabyte. These are both M2 2280 SSDs.
Yeah, it's a little teeny tiny boy.
They can be upgraded, as I understand it. Both of them ship with a 7-inch Full HD 1080p IPS screen, 500 nits of brightness, 16:9. I think it's fair to say, if I have criticisms, the bezel around the screen is still a little bit disappointing.
It's the same screen, I imagine.
It is, but it's a nice screen. VRR is important. 120 hertz is important, and it makes playing games on it. If a game can't hit 60, you can pick a comfortable frame rate.
And while you might not always use them if you're in public, the speakers. Very good.
Front facing. Yeah, so good. Not hidden underneath shit or pointing out the side.
Well, it's like up the top on the Legion Go. But that's one of the Steam Deck's best things, is it has good speakers that shoot right at your ears.
Yeah.
And they've got that now.
Yeah. In terms of other important differences, I think we mentioned it already, but the Xbox Ally has 2 USB 3.2 Type-C with DisplayPort. And power delivery. The big difference for the Xbox Ally X is 1 USB 4 Type-C with DisplayPort and Thunderbolt 4 compatible as well. Yeah. So, they're both really great. The biggest difference is in terms of actual power. You got 16 gig of LPDDR5X 6400 memory on the Xbox Ally, and 24 gig of LPDDR5X 8000 on the Xbox Ally X. So you are getting a bit more power, and obviously the chipset is different. The AMD Z2A processor is being used on the Xbox Ally.
Which is a new version of the Steam Deck.
Yeah, and they're using the AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme for the Xbox Ally X.
It has the NPU in it.
Yeah. Other than that, the only big difference is the Xbox Ally X is a bit heavier, but it's not by much. We're talking like less than 100 grams.
They were both very comfortable, and they were that balance. I was not feeling fatigued.
That's the thing. Like when we first saw the leaks, do you remember the factory leaks? It was like a factory mock-up, and it was like, this looks real derpy, right? And it kind of does when you see it in that way. But all of that, genuinely just sort of fades away. You pick it up.
Dirty engineering sample.
Yeah, the worst engineering sample. To me, it feels like, and I like a weighty pad. It feels as comfortable as holding like an Elite pad with some extra weight to it. Yeah, it's a little further apart, but everything, it feels like an Xbox.
You're not doing this. You're doing this.
Yeah, like
you're looking at it.
The Ally X, and it's cool that the screen is actually slanted at a slight angle. Like it's not. unless you're really looking, you don't notice it, but it makes all the difference in the world. And unlike the existing Ally, it doesn't have that hard edge that after a while, like, it's not bad, you can live with it, but it isn't comfortable, and this is. And the material, thankfully, on both devices is really great, because that is the other funny story. When we were playing Planet of Lana 2 on one of the Xbox Allies, it was an early sample, and it hadn't had the final kind of like body coat, and I'm playing it, and this is the first time I'd held one, because I played with the Xbox Ally X. I'm like, oh my god, this plastic is the worst. Oh, it's like a Fisher Price toy. Like, oh my god, I can't believe they're going with this. And then when I picked up the one when we actually got invited by Microsoft to play, I was like, oh, thank god, that was just an early version. Phew. So good times were by all.
They say they dropped it a few times.
Yeah, and it lived. It seems to be robust. It's all good. Like now, so the Ally is actually coming out October 16th.
Yep, no price.
Yes. So I posted about this earlier the week when that embargo dropped on the release date. The scuttlebutt. I love that word. It's a good word. The scuttlebutt on the ground is, they had originally planned, and I think Tom Warren has reported similar on The Verge, but perhaps with a little bit less conjecture. The scuttlebutt is that they were going to do the release date, they were going to do the price. Of course, that makes absolute sense.
For pre-orders.
Yeah. And here's the pre-order date. This is when you'll be able to. And instead, they've just given us the release date. And, the rumor going around is that they've seen and heard the reactions to pricing. And I think particularly ASUS are looking to see if with Microsoft they can be subsidized a little bit further to reduce or improve that price in the eyes of the consumer. Now, what that might end up being, we all live in the world, and there are economic realities even for giant trillion-dollar companies and their partners. None of us know. I would love, and this is just my opinion, I would love to see them push this device because it's genuinely great. Like, it's one of the best handhelds I've used.
It's the best one I've used.
Xbox Ally, and this is the important one, because again, we're doing the S and the X, right? The normal average consumer, your average gamer, is going to get the cheap one. And if they can get that to within a Switch 2 price region, and I think ideally from an attractiveness point of view, if they can hit $499 USD, amazing. Now, I know there's naysayers, it's probably going to be $549. This is all conjecture, by the way.
Without tariffs, they probably could have.
Yeah, I know. But it would have been great, because I think that would have been that's a direct competitor to the Switch 2. And for people that are like, it's not going to be a competitor to the Switch 2, if they can get the price right, it's more powerful than the Switch 2.
Yeah, but it still won't sell. It will sell 100th.
Yes,
which would be fine for ASUS, because if they do 600,000 ROG Allies, and that's what they're aiming for, they're not mass producing in super tight.
They're not mass producing in the way that a Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo.
I mean, they're not going to do 110 million of these over.
No, but they are producing way more of these than the existing Ally has been produced, and they're launching in more countries: Australia, Belgium, Canada, Czech Republic, China, only the super powerful one, not the cheap one, or cheaper one. Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Italy, Ireland, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Philippines, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, United States of Vietnam!
As we know it, it's the end of the world.
But yes, that's a lot of key markets, and there are places right there where ASUS haven't released those devices. So I think that they want this to succeed, and my hope is, and again, pure conjecture on my part, that ASUS see an opportunity to really dig this niche and push it forward, because this is a branded Xbox device from them and Microsoft working together. First partnership of this type for the Xbox brand. And if this is a sign of things to come, using the economic power of these, of Microsoft, like, hey, we're going to buy in bulk, we're producing this many, we can reduce the price to this. If that's going to make a big enough difference, to push these out and make a change to this growing, relatively new handheld market, I think it'll make a big difference. I don't know who's going to win that fight. I don't know if the economic realities are going to just basically trump, no pun intended, trump out and win, but we'll see. But yeah.
That's Gamescom.
That's Gamescom, people. We don't want to make this video too long because also it's 11 p.m. at night.
It's not going to get edited the way you want.
Not tonight.
Yeah,
Not
tonight.
tonight.
But if you want it to go up right now, you can. It'd be fun.
Yeah, we could put it up, but maybe we could cut the ROG Ally bit and make a separate ROG Ally video, like tomorrow or something.
No. Thank you, everyone, for watching. John's going to get up now. He's going to go hit the stop button while Predrag and I wave goodbye.
Well, we are going to do that. We are going to do that, but before we do that, we do need to end on a very special message, and that is to thank every single one of you that donated, that subscribed, that commented, that became a patron, that helped and donated to our fundraiser, that joined in giveaways, that participated in our community. You guys make all the difference in the world. And some of the conversations we've had this week have kind of rejuvenated us a little bit in, well, you know what? Like all of this talk of going multi-platform and changing the name, well, what about if we just make sure we're the best Xbox focused publication out there? And I think that's what we're gonna fucking be. Yeah. So big thank you to all of our patrons, especially Kevin S, our grand benefactors.
Grand benefactor, CEO, Torn Raptor,
yep.
Grand benefactors, Crop 56, and
Assassin Entertainment.
Yeah.
You guys, all of you, you're all amazing. You all made this possible. It's only ever going to get bigger and better, and it's because of you. So we owe you the world. So now I'll go up and press stop record, and we'll see you next time. Ciao for now, baby. Mm-hmm. Bye. You guys wave bye. Bye. Oh, no, I had the Xbox podcast thing on my head. Goodbye.
Free Palestine.
Yeah, do all that stuff, please. Bye.